Peace be upon you, dear students. الصف السابع الدرس العاشر الجزء الثاني مبني المجهول. Today we are going to continue about passive voice. But before doing that, I'll revise the information which we discussed earlier. So don't forget the three basic rules to make passive in English. The first one is to change the object into subject. So the first rule to make passive, dear students, is to change the object into passive. So if we have an object pronoun, we change it into a subject pronoun, as you can see here in the chart. And we talked about this in the last lesson. Now, another important step is to change the form of the verb. So in the passive, we always need a finite form of verb to be, as I told you earlier. So we need a finite form of verb to be plus the third form of the verb, as you can see here. So always use a finite form of verb to be plus the past participle of the verb. And here are all the forms for you, and we talked about them earlier. Now, the last change is to use the subject into the object. And here we change the subject pronoun into an object pronoun preceded by the word by. And today, I revise with you the active voice and the passive voice in this chart. So please pay attention. Here I am revising for you the active voice, and then I'll change every sentence into the passive according to the verb tense. So simple present. Here, the form is in the passive. So simple present in the passive, we use the verb to be in the base form, is, are, or we can say in the present simple form. So is, are, the first form of the verb, is, are, plus the third form of the verb. This is the form of the passive present simple. So simple present passive is, are, plus the third form of verb to be. Please memorize these forms by heart. So in the active, you all know, I told you earlier, we need the first form of the verb and we add s in third person singular. So this is an example in the present simple passive. He lights the candle. He lights the candle. So don't forget to add s. Now in the passive, first of all, we change this object into subject, as you can see. So the candle now is at the beginning of the sentence. Now think about the form above of a present simple passive. So candle is singular, so we use the verb to be is plus the third form of the verb in the introductory sentence. So the candle is lighted, and here the subject pronoun is changed into an object pronoun preceded by the word by. So by the preposition by. So he lights the candle is lighted by him. This is an example in present simple passive. Pay attention. Now we are going to read the form of a present continuous passive. Pay attention, dear students. Present continuous passive. Memorize the form by heart. Is, are, being. You can memorize this form by heart. Don't forget to use being, as you can see here, and it is shaded in yellow for you now. So is, are, being plus the third form of the verb. Now let's revise present continuous active. We need is, or are plus the present participle of the verb. I mean verb plus ing. So I am driving a car. I am driving a car. Pay attention. This is the form of present continuous. Now I'll change present continuous into present continuous passive. So first of all, we need to use the object in the place of the subject. So a car, but use a capital letter, please. Now verb to be is, or are. So the car is a singular noun, so we need is. A car is being. Pay attention. Being. Okay, the car is being, and the third form of the verb in the introductory sentence. So driving, drive, drove, driven. So a car is being driven. The third form of the verb by me, and here we change the subject pronoun I into me. Now present perfect. Now here in the active we always use the third form, as you all know. So we only need here to add been between the two parts of the verb, between the helping verb and the main verb. So the active voice in present perfect, we need have or has plus the third form of the verb. So here in the introductory sentence, the verb is in the third form, as you can see here, stolen. So she has stolen my book. Now in the passive, you only need to add been between the two parts. So first of all, we use the object instead of the subject. So my book has been. So this is the change. My book has been stolen by her, and she is changed into an object pronoun after preposition. So she is changed into her. So right now we have discussed the three forms. Present simple, am is are plus the third form. Present continuous is am are being plus the third form. Present perfect, have or has been plus the third form, as you can see in this chart. Now another form, simple past. So simple past, here in the introductory sentence, the verb is used in the second form. So we only need to add the ed to the regular verb, and we need to learn the second form of verbs in the irregular verbs list. Now she finished work. She finished work is an example in the past simple. So here the verb is in the second form. Now how can we change the past simple into past simple passive, the past simple active into past simple passive? So we need verb to be, as I told you. We need a finite form of verb to be depending on the tense, on the verb tense in the introductory sentence. So she finished work. Now work, we start with the object work with a capital letter. Don't forget, your student. So work. Now past simple in the passive was plus the third form. So she finished work, work was finished by her. So here we need past simple of verb to be, and you all know it's was or were. So was is a singular now, so we need was. So work was finished by her, and finished is in the third form of the verb finish. Now past continuous, in the active we need was or were plus the verb plus ing. Yes. So in the active voice we need, I am talking about past continuous, we need was or were plus verb plus ing, or the present participle of the verb. Now in the past continuous passive, dear student, I need was or were, as you can see here. So all the forms are written for you in green here. So was or were, depending on the doer of the action, whether it is singular or plural, and being plus the third form. So his books, a plural noun. So we add were plus being plus the third form. So his books were being revised by him. Now past perfect, you know, in the introductory sentence we always find the verb in the third form. So we only need to add been, as we have done in the present perfect. So only add been between the two parts of the verb, namely the helping verb and the third form. So I had completed the assignment. I had completed the assignment is an example in the past perfect tense. Now we change it into past perfect passive. Only we add been. Only we need to add been. So the assignment had been completed by me. Now future simple. So here we are talking about will. Will plus always is followed by the base form of the verb, by bare infinitive, by zero form. So what is the infinitive form of verb to be? It is be, and of course the third form of the verb. So active voice, my uncle will pay. My uncle will pay. So always the verbs after will are in the base form, in the zero form, in bare infinitive. So my uncle will pay my tuition fee. My uncle will pay my tuition fee. Okay. Now will is followed by the base form of be plus the third form of the verb pay. So my uncle will pay my tuition fee. Now my tuition fee will be paid by my uncle. Now the same thing will happen with modals. So as we've done with will, we can do the same thing with other modals like can, could, must, may, might, should. So all of these modal verbs, and they are helping verbs, you know, we only need to add the base form of verb to be plus the third form of the main verb. So for example, I can solve these sums. these sums can be. So always use the base form of verb to be after can or could. Now another example, we must learn this book. Now this book must be learned by you. I may buy this book. This book may be bought. So always we need the third form as I told you. Now they might play. Chess might be played. Students should learn. All lessons should be learned. So we only need, after these models, to use verb to be in the base form plus the third form of the main verb. Now here we need, so for this case, or for this reason, we always need to memorize the irregular verb list. So again, we always need to memorize the irregular verbs list by heart. And for this reason, I'll show you, and you should memorize them by heart, a video at the end of this lesson about the song of the irregular verbs. So here, we all need this form. Pay attention, dear students. Always we need this form of the irregular verb when we make passive. And in order to memorize them, I'll send you the song of irregular verbs to memorize them by heart. For example, been, become, began, broken, brought, built, bought, caught, chosen, come, cost, etc. So you need to learn these forms of verbs by heart. Now we have finished everything, but before I finish my lesson, the second part of passive voice, we'll do this exercise together. So rewrite the sentences in passive voice. Rewrite the sentences in passive voice. So snow covered the mountains, and here the verb is in a blue color for you. So first of all, we need to know the verb tense of the verb, the main verb in the introductory sentence. So snow covered, ask yourself this question: what is the form of the verb in the introductory sentence? Covered is in the second form, and here it is in the past simple. So in this case, we need the past simple form of verb to be plus the third form of covered, which is covered. So start with the object. Now snow covered the mountains. Now the mountains where the second form of verb. Why, dear students? Because covered is in the second form here, so we need the second form of verb to be, which is was or were. Now the mountains is a plural noun, so we add where plus the third form of the main verb cover, which is covered because it's a regular verb. So the mountains were covered, and here it is in yellow shading for you. So the mountains were covered with snow. This is an example of past simple passive. Now another example, dear students. The professor is going to show the students an old bone. So here we are using going to refer to the future, and always after going to we need the base form of verb to be. So we start with the object. The students are going to be. Use the base form after to. Be and the third form of the verb show. Okay, showed, shown. So this is the third form. So the students are going to be shown an old bone. Now we must write to her, and here we have a modal verb, and it must be followed by the base form of the verb to be, which is be. So we must write to her. But before doing that, here we have an object pronoun, and when we use it at the beginning of sentence, we change it into a subject pronoun. So we must write to her she. Don't forget to convert the object pronoun into a subject pronoun at the beginning of the sentence. So we must write to her, she must be written to. Here we use the base form of verb to be, which is be, plus the third form of the verb in the introductory sentence. So she must be written to. Now they expected us to build the road. The same thing here, expected in the past simple, so we need verb to be in the past simple. Where? We were. Now us is an object pronoun. Us is an object pronoun. When we use it at the beginning of the sentence, we change it into a subject pronoun. So we were expected to build the road, and here expected, of course, in the third form, as all the examples above. Now they understand Spanish. We start with the object Spanish, Understand is a verb in the first form, namely the present simple. So we need verb to be in the present simple. So Spanish is, because it's a singular noun. Spanish is understood, the third form. So understand, understood, understood. So Spanish is understood by them. So they is a subject pronoun, and we use it in the object case after the preposition by. Now my friend bought a new car. My friend bought a new car. So we start with the object, a new car, and here the verb is in the past simple. A new car was, so we use verb to be past, verb to be past. So a new car was, and the third form, by, bought. So a new car was bought by my friend. Now Fadia takes photos, and takes is a verb in the present simple. It's in the first form plus s because Fadia is a singular noun. So we start with the object. Pay attention. Here Fadia is a singular noun while the object is a plural noun. So we use are. Pay attention. Are, because here we have photos in the plural form. So photos are taken. So take, took, taken. Take, took, taken. So photos are taken by Fadia. Now the boys can play football. The boys can play football. So football can. It is a modal verb. Football can, and the base form. It is always followed by the base form of verb to be. So football can be played by the boys. Now John gave me a bunch of flowers on my birthday. So here in this case we have two objects. We have two objects. The first one is me, and it is an object pronoun, and here we have another object, a bunch of flowers. So we can start with either of them. So here, for example, if we start with the object pronoun, we convert it into subject pronoun, and then because the verb is in the second form, we only need verb to be in the second form, and that means was or were in this case. So I was given. So gave, give, given. Give, gave, given. Give, gave, given. So the third form of give is given. So I was given a bunch of flowers on my birthday by John. Now we can start with the second object, a bunch of flowers. So a bunch of flowers was given. Now someone may ask me, flowers is plural. No, here we are talking about only one bunch. So a bunch of flowers was given to me on my birthday by John. Now here is another example, but here rewrite the sentences in active voice. So in this exercise we are going to rewrite the sentences but in the active. So they are in the passive and we need to change them into the active voice. So here we can see is plus the third form. So here it is past simple, passive, past simple, passive. So football is played by the children. Now we start with the object. So the children play, present simple, active, the first form of the verb. Coffee is sold by Malak. So here it is a present simple, passive. And here we start with Malak and the form of the present simple, and we add s for Malak because it's a singular noun. So Malak sells coffee. Now the telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. No, Alexander Graham Bell, the doer of the action at the beginning of the sentence, and we need the verb in the second form to refer to the past simple. So Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Now the club was founded by Brian. So found, founded, founded. Please pay attention. I am not talking about find, found, found. Here found, founded, founded, a regular verb. So the club was founded by Brian. So Brian founded the club, and here it is in the past simple, active. In the first sentence it is a past simple, passive. Here past simple, active. Now the last one, the bag was packed by his mother. Now his mother packed. So here past simple, passive. We need verb to be in the past form plus the third form of the verb. While in the active we need only the second form of the verb to make it past simple. So the bag was packed by his mother packed the bag. Now this is everything about the passive voice, and here we had a comparison between the active voice and the passive voice. I have finished everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye now. Don't forget to watch the video at the end of this lesson about the song of irregular verbs in order to be able to change verbs in the future. Thank you very much for watching. See you.
Become, became, become. Begin, began, begun. Blow, blew, blown. Break, broke, broken. Bring, brought, brought. Build, built, built. Burst, burst, burst. Buy, bought, bought. Choose, chose, chosen. Catch, caught, caught. Come, came, come. Cut, cut, cut. Deal, dealt, dealt. Do, did, done. Dream, dreamt, dreamt.
Irregular verbs are so easy when you sing this song. Just remember the words to this song and you won't get them wrong. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs.
Drink, drank, drunk. Drive, drove, driven. Eat, ate, eaten. Fall, fell, fallen. Feel, felt, felt. Fight, fought, fought. Find, found, found. Fly, flew, flown. Forget, forgot, forgotten. Forgive, forgave, forgiven. Freeze, froze, frozen. Get, got, got. Give, gave, given. Go, went, gone. Grow, grew, grown. Have, had, had.
Here we go. Irregular verbs are so easy when you sing this song. Just remember the words to this song and you won't get them wrong. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs.
Hear, heard, heard. Hide, hid, hidden. Hold, held, held. Hurt, hurt, hurt. Keep, kept, kept. Know, knew, known. Lay, laid, laid. Lead, led, led. Leave, left, left. Let, let. Lie, lay, lane. Lose, lost, lost. Make, made, made. Mean, meant, meant. Meet, met, met. Pay, paid, paid.
Irregular verbs are so easy when you sing this song. Just remember the words to this song and you won't get them wrong. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs.
Put. Read, read, read. Ride, rode, ridden.
That's right.
Rise, rose, risen. Run, ran, run.
You heard.
Say, said, said.
Yeah, you did.
See, saw, seen. Seek, sought, sought.
Yeah.
Sell, sold, sold.
That's verbs.
Send, sent, sent.
Here we go.
Set, set, set.
You heard.
Shake, shook, shaken.
Say it again.
Shine, shone, shone.
Here we go.
Show, showed, showed. Sing, sang, sung.
That's right.
Sit, sat, sat.
Yeah. Irregular verbs are so easy when you sing this song. Just remember the words to this song and you won't get them wrong. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs.
Sleep, slept, slept. Speak, spoke, spoken. Spend, spent, spent.
Yeah.
Stand, stood, stood. Steal, stole, stolen.
That's right.
Swim, swam, swum. Swing, swung, swung.
Too high.
Take, took, taken.
That's verbs.
Teach, taught, taught.
Yeah.
Tell, told, told.
Yo.
Think, thought, thought.
You heard.
Throw, through, thrown.
Here we go.
Understand, understood, understood. Wear, wore, worn. Win, won, won.
That's right.
Write, wrote, written.
Yeah. Irregular verbs are so easy when you sing this song. Just remember the words to this song and you won't get them wrong. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs.